A 55-year-old man arrested in connection with a crash that killed 5 pupils in Mitchell's Plain this week will appear in court today. 2 more children were seriously injured in that incident. Police say the driver apparently lost control of his bakkie while ferrying the pupils to school on Tuesday morning. It's a crash that's once again brought into sharp focus the challenges related to scholar transport. Let's unpack this issue further. We're joined this morning by Mitchell's Plain's Ward 43 councilor, Elton Jansen. And joining us on the line is the Secretary General from the SA Scholar Transport Association, Sihle Magubane. To both of our guests, thanks very much indeed for your time this morning. Elton, I want to begin with you because this is not the first incident of this nature in Mitchell's Plain, particularly involving scholar transport.
Yes, thank you, Michelle. It is indeed very sad that we once again have to lose lives on the road. And yeah, it's not the first time. It's in about less than a month where another child was also, lost his life in an accident on the very same road.
Sure. And
I believe that we need to clamp down on these scholar transportation people.
So when we talk about clamp down, Elton, what do we mean and where do the gaps lie? Because it does feel that we only have these conversations when there are fatal crashes that have just happened.
Yeah, look, the regulation is a bit unclear. In the city of Cape Town, we've got a nice scholar transport guide that guides scholar transport companies or shuttles. Mm-hmm. To look out for, but the transportation of people in general in open bakkies are still a bit unclear. We still see a lot of people, even though the regulation says that people cannot transport people in a bakkie for reward. That doesn't stop the accidents to occur. It's unsafe when a bakkie is in an accident with people, more so with children,
yeah.
And it occurs on a regular basis.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
We need to clamp down on the transportation of people on open vehicles, bakkies in this case. More stricter measures must be put in place.
Yeah, it does also feel like there's a lack of visible policing to try and address these matters as they unfold, as we're transporting children in the early hours of the morning to school. Sihle, let's bring you into the conversation, and I want to begin there, the transportation of anyone, but in this case, children on the back of open bakkies. What do your regulations say?
Good morning to your viewers, and morning to you as well. In 2017, our government said to us, no, we are no longer allowed to use a van when we're transporting our kids. So we are following that, but some of our transporters, they see a gap or a loophole, shall I say. When they retire, they go and buy a van and they come in within our business without following rules and regulations. So that's why we always knock on government's door to regulate our organization so we can see to these problems, so we can also follow, guide our business, teach our transporters how to make sure we maintain safety on our kids.
So, Sihle, at the moment, what is the recognition from government insofar as the scholar transport industry is concerned?
Our organization is SASTA, us. We've been knocking on government's door from 2020. It doesn't to listen to us. We've got all solutions to stop all these accidents that are happening. We teach our members, and we need to regulate them. We need to guide them. We need to tell them what to do. We need workshops. We need a lot of things. So we're here to help government to meet us halfway, so that we will put a stop to all these accidents. He doesn't want to listen to us. Only when an accident happens then you see them. They will come, they will talk, condolences, whatever. That is not enough. We are, this frustrates us, because this is our kids that we're losing. We need to stop all this. So our government need to come to party, need to sit down with us, need to regulate us, need to recognize us. This is our business sector. As SASTA, we are here for all scholar transporters that are here in South Africa. So we need to be taken, we need not to be taken for granted. You understand? So this is our business. Government took us in 2017. He put us under another business wing. So that is not helping at all. You see, if you're raising a child, if your neighbor is raising your child, that child will not be raised 100% correctly because it's not his child, it's a neighbor's child. So
yeah, I think your point has been made, Sihle. I want to just move on to Elton because we are short on time. I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it, Elton, that it's a sector that's so important, scholar transportation, the various things that we need to consider when it comes to keeping our children safe, getting them to and from school safely, and yet largely from what Sihle is saying, it is an industry that is self-regulated.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense. And that's why I called on the MEC of Mobility in the Western Cape to look into this regulation, specifically here in the Western Cape. And once again, to make sure that all people are transported safely on our roads. It cannot be that we in 2023 have a regulation that does not protect our people. Now, transporting people on an open bakkie, I mean, on our roads, it cannot be that there's no proper regulation to protect our people. The industry, transporting of people is another aspect, and that's why I'm engaging with the Scholar Transport Association in Cape Town and in various communities to see what are those loopholes, and then let's approach government to put those measures in place so that our people can be safely transported on our roads.
Yeah, it also sounds. Sorry, Elton. It also sounds like it's going to take various sectors of government, right? It's exactly the regulations you're talking about. It's also, as I said earlier, about visible policing, about Metro Police officers being on the road and stopping vehicles that are doing exactly that. And on the other hand, communities need to also play their part.
Exactly. Like I said, in the city we've got a guideline where scholar transport operators can tick the boxes where their transports, your vehicles are concerned, whether they are tested, whether they are registered, and so forth. But also for the parents, there are certain questions that parents need to ask these scholar transport, operators. How old is your vehicle? Is it registered? Do you have a license or a permit to transport people and children? And so I think it's a whole of society approach where we all must make sure that these regulations are met and that there's safety measures when our children are transported on the roads.
Yeah, absolutely. Pardon me. Sihle, insofar as this multi-sectoral approach is concerned, how do we ensure that all parties come on board and there is this sort of oversight that is conducted even outside of government regulations?
When you're talking about transportation, this is very fragile. We're dealing with our kids here who need safety at all times. So, from parents to a transporter to teachers, this is a chain. So, we need communication as well as community as well. We need communication at all time. We need to help each other. Government said to us, I can't talk to individuals, so I need an organization. We here at SASTA. So when it comes to vehicles, we need recognition so that we can go to dealers and find new cards, compliant cards for our members. So we can't go as an individual to a dealer and say, no, I need a car, this and that. Remember, when we go there, we don't have pay slips as scholar transporters. Our cars are old. We agree. In some areas, they are still using like microbuses. Microbus is a very old car. You understand? So we need new cars as well. But we can't do that if we're going to do it individually. Or we need an organization to go and talk on behalf of our members. We here at SASTA, we're here for that. We want government to meet halfway so that we can fix our industry. Because scholar transportation is also an industry on its own. It's a business on its own.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me, you can't tell someone to look over us. You understand? We need to stand on our own. We're here for that in order for us to fix all our problems. We've got plenty problems. We've got also solutions, but government doesn't want to listen to us. So
I think I might disagree with you on that, Sihle, and say that there certainly is oversight that is needed in the sector. Elton, your last word this morning, insofar as your interactions as the ward councillor and the steps that you've said you now want to take, do you involve associations like the Scholar Transport Association as well?
Oh yes, definitely. I had several scholar transport associations reaching out to me the last couple of days, and I said, let's talk. Let's find out. Let's get all the role players in the room from national, provincial, and the city of Cape Town, and see how we can work around these loopholes. And I mean, the regulation says no person shall on a public road convey school children in the goods compartment of a motor vehicle for reward.
Sure.
Now that in itself opens up a loophole, like Sihle has said, and so we need to engage different spheres of government to make sure that our people, in this week we zoom into scholar transport, but people in general should be transported safely on our roads, and I am against the transportation of people on an open bakkie. It is just not safe.
It's just heartbreaking that it takes incidents like the one this week that's led to the death of 5 children for us to open up these conversations. Let me thank both of our guests this morning. Elton Jansen is Mitchells Plain's Ward 43 councillor, and joining us on the line is Sihle Magubane, who is with the South African Scholar Transport Association. Thanks for your time.